All right, we're back with John Marston and company for some more Red Dead 2. Finishing up, I guess, the end of Red Dead 2 now. Finishing, or I guess just starting John Marston's story. If you look at it, reversing from the original Red Dead. Not sure how long the epilogue is going to be. Not 100% confident on the number of parts yet. I think we've made some good progress with it so far. Hopefully all are still staying safe, staying indoors, practicing good hygiene, all that good stuff. I'm glad that you have chosen to spend some more time with your boy. Not really a whole lot to run through with you before this one. Just kind of knocking main story missions down at this point, kind of systematically, I guess. Once we load up here, we'll be able to see kind of where we're at and what we got going on for us. Most importantly, and I guess to kind of end the stream last time, there was like a song that was a lot of times, I guess, for dramatic purposes in between missions, they'll play a song and we'll get the opportunity to ride to a new location with some very atmospheric music. But our scene was kind of ruined as we were crossing the prairies. We were rudely interrupted by a small pack of wolves. That was originally, I think we were riding out to go drop in with Sadie Adler. She has written to us. She has corresponded to us via Telegram and instructed that we meet her in Valentine. So this is the first time that we've kind of been in touch with anybody from the old Vanderlinde gang. So that's going to be an interesting little backstory. And the other thing too is we haven't been to Valentine in a long time. Remember that multiple years and even some more months now have passed. So it'll be interesting to see what Valentine looks like currently. The whole Blackwater area is open for us now too. That's where our second mission. Hopefully we'll be able to do this one as well as part of this video, the Ansel Atherton mission. Most recently, Abigail and Jack left John Marston at Pronghorn Ranch. Abigail was fed up with John kind of falling back to his old gunslinger ways. They've took off. So in an effort to kind of reclaim his family, I guess, John is trying to purchase property in the Blackwater area to kind of get himself settled, I guess, and show Abigail that he can be, a supporting father as much as a gunslinger. So John Marston wants a loan. So Mr. Geddes gave him a credit reference to use at the bank in Blackwater and a contact to meet there. So that's going to be something different as well. But for now, we are going to ride out. Hopefully it's not too long of a ride. There's the two wolves that we killed crossing these prairies here. But we'll set Sadie Adler as our destination in Valentine, and we will get going. We were gifted back all of the weapons that we had collected over time with Arthur Morgan as well. So that's important because I had a lot of gunpowder. I had a lot of weaponry. I had, weapons that, are favorites to me, and you kind of fall into a bit of a comfort zone with some of them. So it's been a little weird to not be normally equipped for the last little while, but we've definitely made it through, and now we're kind of back to being fully equipped. So that's another big point for sure as well. This is part number 74 already. Crazy. I feel like we just started a brand new game now, almost. Now that we're doing kind of John Marston's tale. Cue the phone.
Please don't delay me any further. I'm just a homesteader looking for a patch.
Ain't no room for homesteaders here. This land is owned.
You got some nerve showing up in this country. Why the chase you down? We're talking here.
I'm here under duress, sir. Help me!
Drop them.
Oh, Lord! Dear me. Are they dead? Sir? I was alone in these parts and much in need of a friend. Thank you. Yeah!
Now that was a very interesting interaction, and definitely a different interaction. One that we kind of have never come across before, but I guess being multiple years later, times have changed a little bit. That looked like a gentleman who was not from around these parts, who was looking for a plot of land to call his own. And obviously the locals looked like they were less than pleased about these people coming in here looking for land. It's expansion, right? People are looking to settle down. It's the turn of the century. Gangs and the whole kind of Wild West idea isn't really as prevalent anymore, I would say. So, you know, now we're kind of seeing that. I don't know if, you know, frontier expansion is the right term to use here, but we're just kind of seeing more and more. We're kind of seeing a bit of a population boom here. You know, I'm obviously from Canada, and we kind of saw the same thing with people being designated land, and you know, people were looking for land to call their own. This was the land of dreams. Fresh start for a lot of people, especially from Europe and whatnot. That's how that interaction played out for me. Hopefully, I interpreted that interaction. I don't know if I heard the full conversation there, but basically, the epilogue, we've been kind of stuck in one area of the map, more or less. Obviously, we have free roam, but we've been kind of loitering in and around the Pronghorn Ranch area. John, I don't think, has probably left Pronghorn Ranch since he got there. Obviously, he might have done some run some errands or whatnot in Strawberry, but this is the first time I think John Marston would have probably left the Pronghorn Ranch and gone this kind of a distance in a long time. So I'm sure this is quite mind-blowing for him, this ride, kind of revisiting his past with the gang, having been through all these parts. Damn, crazy amount of wildlife there, holy. I think we're actually gonna cross here. Like I said, I don't really know how long this is gonna last, per se, this epilogue. So, in terms of, you know, focusing on, like, getting a new horse, and I might not do the same level of, might not have the same level of detail in my upkeep with John as I had with Arthur. I won't necessarily focus so much on the horses that I have and, you know, going out of my way to, you know, go hunting to support my camp and stuff like that. There's a lot of little things that I don't really need to emphasize. I'm just kind of going after the missions here in this epilogue. really trying to stay with the story here for the most part. So I guess maybe with John, there's just fewer responsibilities. Maybe that's the best way to say it. It's hard to tell if like these parts of the land have changed very much. I take it the towns will look a little bit different. I guess we're about to find out with Valentine. I know there was a house or something that was being built on the main street there, so we'll kind of see what the progress with that is like now, a couple years later. This is weird. I don't know, riding out here.
Easy. Hi.
We should be approaching Valentine pretty soon. And yeah, I'm pretty stoked to see Sadie Adler too. I've mentioned before Sadie Adler being one of my favorite characters. She's just such a badass character, badass female character nonetheless. And someone I was always happy to work with as Arthur Morgan. There were some people throughout the game that I just dreaded to work with on a regular, like for main story missions. Like Micah is one of them, for example. Oh, that's good. This new horse I have with John is level 2. I don't even know what this horse's name is. I have zero relationship with it right now, but that's good. I'll take an increase in bonding. It always helps.
Giddy up now.
Hey! Move it!
You tell him, John. You tell him. See what's going on in Valentine.
Hey there, pal. Can you help me? Could use some help finding my way home. I can't make heads or tails of where I'm at. I live in front of the saloon next to the freight station. You know if I'm heading in the right direction?
Sure, just head over that way. You'll be all right.
Thank you, mister.
Not a problem, my
Certainly
dude.
do appreciate it. Certainly do.
So there's the house that was being built when Arthur Morgan was still alive. They had gotten basically the frame of the house done, but that's about it.
What the hell you think you're doing?
Sorry, I guess standing in the middle of the road is not particularly the best place. So it's all finished now. It's it looks like it could just be residential or maybe just a business that I can't go into.
Hello?
We still have the staples, I mean, of the town. Much of it still looks the same for the most part. I mean, I guess cities don't really change all that much, or towns, even in real life, if you will.
How do you do?
So Sadie is going to be one of the most memorable saloons in Red Dead. The Saloon of Valentine. I've had so many amazing things happen here. So many.
I thought I told you to leave it,
And I
Bubba.
thought to myself who this little girl thinks she telling anything to.
Enjoy your drink in peace. I ain't got no business with you right now.
What that mean?
For the last time, leave me alone.
Or what?
Get the hell out of here before she kills us all!
You!
Get out of here!
John Marston.
Jesus, holy.
Good to see you.
I thought I heard a rumor you was alive. Jim Milton, that you?
Guess I didn't do real good job of hiding my identity. We didn't hear nothing about you.
You kill a feller up by Roanoke?
Sure did.
I thought that sounded like you and Abigail and Jack.
She's fine.
She was always so kind to me.
I'm looking to buy us a property. Beecher's Hope, west of Blackwater. I'm kind of a farmer now. And you?
Oh, you know how it is. Bounties mostly, and some other stuff, good and bad. Hey, you any interest in bounties?
I've gone straight. Sort of.
Oh, it's legal, usually.
Then, maybe.
Come on, then.
What? Where are we headed?
Strawberry. Got on the run from New York. Good price for him.
What'd he do?
Rob a bank?
With a gun?
No, with a pen. He's an accountant, I think.
Sounds easy.
Come on, we got a bit of a ride.
I know.
Ironic for Sadie and John Marston to be chasing after a guy who robbed a bank here. Another thing, I'm never too fond of knives going through people's hands. Just recently watched the season 3 premiere to Ozark, and man, that's like 2 days in a row now that I've had to watch a knife go into somebody's hand, and it just it's never really an ideal watch. And just another thing to note, Sadie obviously still up to her old bag of tricks. She's still a badass, still sticking knives in people's hands, I guess, when you look at it that way. And she is currently occupied as a bounty hunter. So again, definitely some irony there. But at least she's doing some legal things now and not doing all illegal things. And she's probably hanging with a bit of a better crowd than the Vanderlyn gang characters anyways. So we're going to follow her out, try and catch this guy from New York who robbed a bank. Obviously, he's not a badass guy himself. She said that he's an accountant, so this ought to be a piece of cake.
You said you had something to discuss. I didn't think we'd be chasing down an outlaw.
There's something else.
What?
Micah.
Micah?
I think so. I heard of someone sounded like him
Micah?
about a year back.
Okay.
We always said, if we found him...
I know what we said we'd do. That ain't changed.
I didn't think I'd see any of you again after you left for the Yukon.
We came back. Didn't strike it rich, as you can see.
But you're a rancher now.
I aim to be. Probably why I can't afford it. This country's becoming real civilized. Bad folk won't be around for long.
It's true, we just talked about that earlier this stream, how society in the United States and Canada, basically across all of North America, kind of at the turn of the century here, becoming a lot more civilized. That was kind of a big theme throughout so much of this game. I was waiting for the time when we would hear of reports of Dutch and Micah, and interesting that Micah has seemed to have surfaced, and they obviously made a pact that if they ever ran into Micah, they would, take care of him more or less. So looks like that's probably going to be the end goal here, and maybe Dutch as well, because as far as I know, he's still floating out there as well.
What's it to be?
All right, see what you can find. Like I said, feller's name is Nathan Kirk. Banker, bald, 45.
Okay.
You head up that way. I'll meet you in a bit.
So we're back in Strawberry. I'm not as familiar with this town as I am with Valentine, although Valentine's a much easier place to traverse. It's a lot smaller. So we're looking for a bald guy named, I think it was Nathan Kirk, something along those lines. So she's given us an area to cover. Try and track this guy down, see what we can find. So John and Abigail obviously went to the Yukon. It's part of the gold rush. that's going on as part of this time as well. Striking it rich with gold. Obviously they didn't, so that kind of explains a little bit more from his mouth. You know, kind of why they returned to the land that they fled. So I thought I might be able to kind of inquire with folks around here, if, you know, but that doesn't look to be an option. I guess when you're trying to track a bounty down, going around asking everybody ain't the best way to do it. It's one way for the guy to find out that you are after him. I will tell you, there ain't too many bald people around here, so you should be able to find that way. Not that I've seen, anyways. Effective use of barbershops did not come in to play, or widespread use of barbershops did not come into play until much later in time. Don't quote me on that. Now, I guess he wouldn't be hiding behind a pile of logs. Not really the most logical place to look. The hotel is definitely one place where we could inquire, if that's an option. This is still in the area we can cover. That's Sadie right here. Doesn't look like she's found anything.
He's staying in the Welcome Center.
What now?
You head in there and try to flush him out. I'll go get the horses and then wait here. And grab him if he tries running.
Easy enough.
Should be.
Okay, so this building that I was just in, the Welcome Center, as they call it here in Strawberry, the hotel, as it might also be referred to. I guess this isn't the hotel, because there's another hotel over there. But this is one place to stay. This is where I've always stayed in town, anyways. They got a few different amenities here. I think, yeah, bath and stuff like that. Most hotels offer amenities of sorts. Lots of places, saloons and stuff you can stay at, and they'll feed you as well. I guess there's different kinds of places to stay. I love that we're just walking into random people's rooms. Like, how am I even supposed to react when I see them? So that door is locked.
Mr. Kirk! Mr. Kirk, you in there?
Who is it?
It's just a friend. Just a friend. Come on, open the door.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it!
Open the goddamn door!
Alright, suit yourself.
Stop!
Oh,
Hey,
god damn it.
that's Nathan Kirk! Oh! Got him?
Oh, shut up! Come on, jump on!
Oh.
We gotta get after him! Remember, we want him alive, though!
I know!
He went right!
Would have been pretty cool if I could have jumped on the horse from that top balcony there. Did he go right or left?
Where are you going?
Oh.
He's a banker! How is he a better rider than us?
I'm not a bad rider, I'm just a bad listener.
I'm not gonna lose that bounty! Come on, now! Stay on him! I'll catch up with you!
Alright.
Where are you going? Shit!
She's probably gonna go try and cut him off somewhere. Oh. Okay. So I lost track of him. He actually went off path there. Damn it. We should be able to start right away by chasing him down. That shouldn't be too much of an issue. Damn.
Mr. Kirk! Mr. Kirk, you in there?
Who is it?
It's just a friend. Just a friend. Come on, open the door.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it!
Open the goddamn door! Stop! Hey! That's Nathan Kirk! Go! Got him?
Oh, shut up. Come on, jump on.
Hey, lady.
We gotta get after him. Remember, we want him alive, though.
I know.
Ah, much better.
He went right.
Successfully jumped on the horse from the balcony. Screw the mission, I already feel accomplished. That's a pretty darn cool thing.
Stay on him. I'll catch up with you.
Where are you going? Shit.
So he actually goes off the beaten path a little bit. Okay, I just saw him down there. Makes it an awful lot harder to track him, but this is a pretty open area, so it shouldn't really lose sight of him down here. Take my time so that I don't kill myself riding into the side of something.
That's a lie. Leave me alone!
You're back.
Almost had him. Come on.
Yeah, scatter!
Look out. Relax, girl.
Nice try, pal. Trying to use the sheep to his advantage. Nice one. Man, just like old times with Sadie, I'll take it.
What is wrong with you people?
We're so close. I don't want to slow down by pulling out my lasso and
Right to do this!
losing ground on him. That's my fear here. Oh,
What you got there?
There we go.
Get off of me!
I'm tight.
Thanks for that, Mr. Kirk. Real fun.
I'm an innocent man, but it's all a mistake. My wife is a desperate woman. Are you married, sir?
None of your business what I am.
She made me do it. She broke me. I did bad, but I'm not bad. There is a difference. This is persecution.
Where shall I send the money? I ain't been paid yet.
Hold on to it for me. Need to speak to the bank over in Blackwater. Get a loan for the property. Might make them happy to see I've got a boss.
So I've got a couple of other leads I could use your help with if you're interested. I'm usually at the saloon in Blackwater.
I need money pretty bad, so I'll come find you.
man, we haven't had to hogtie somebody and bring them back to a jail. I remember very early on in this game, we did a number of bounty collection missions with Arthur Morgan, and I always really liked those missions because each one of the bounty missions that we did with Arthur, really, they all had a really unique story behind the person that we were trying to catch and the backstory behind it all. I always found those missions really intriguing and really worth doing. But we did a handful of them very early on in the playthrough. Probably within the first 20 to 30 videos, I had already completed a handful of them. So if you haven't seen the beginning of this playthrough, definitely check it out. Don't be jumping in now. You're missing all the good stuff, right? Anyways, we're kind of wedged in between Valentine and Strawberry right now, but conveniently, Blackwater is not too far away either, and that's where it looks like not only we have to go get the potential bank loan, as I said earlier, but also Sadie said she's usually at the saloon in Blackwater. So it looks like we will be working with Sadie kind of on an ongoing basis as part of this epilogue. I don't know if her series of missions is going to be more kind of on the side, catching bounties with her, or if that's going to somehow integrate into the main story, but I guess only time will tell. I guess that means that the only place that we can really head to now is Blackwater, and we have waited the entire game to get to Blackwater. This is kind of the aerial view of Blackwater. My understanding is that it is kind of a bigger town. I mean, when you look at the relative size of Blackwater and some of the buildings in Blackwater, and then compare it to a place like Strawberry, it's actually even bigger than Strawberry, and Strawberry is bigger than Valentine. So it's a fair-sized place. Not as large. It doesn't look as large anyways as Saint-Denis. But it's got a lot going on there. We have tailors and butchers and basically everything that you would find in a big city, all the way down to another theater. The Imperial Theater is the newest addition to Blackwater's entertainment scene, using electric lights and motion. Now you can witness the incredible realism of an animated motion picture show. So much like I did in a lot of other towns where we kind of visited for the first time throughout this playthrough, I'll try and make it a point to go around to some of these different places. There's a photo studio. A studio equipped with all the latest in professional photographic technology. The photographer will take your portrait against your choice of scenic backdrop, solo or posing with your sweetheart or posse, for a lasting memento of your visit to Blackwater. There's a barber. John Marston's kind of turning it into a mountain man here, so that might be a shop that we might want to check out. We haven't really aesthetically changed John Marston at all since the beginning of the epilogue. Yeah, lots of stuff to do. Saloon would be a great place to check out. It's a good place where we know we can get probably a steady meal and sleep and kind of all that stuff that we need for our cores. So just kind of going around and checking out the city a little bit. I don't know if I should maybe do that before I apply for the bank loan, or if I should apply for the bank loan first. I don't know kind of where each mission will lead me, though, so it might be good to kind of check out some of the town. And actually, speaking of bounty posters, there is a new bounty poster mission for me to do. I feel like we haven't seen one of these side missions in a long time, so that gives us kind of access to something else to do in Blackwater as well. So without further ado, let's set our sights on one of the icons here. Don't really think I need to see the butcher. Let's maybe take care of some of the aesthetic things first. So we'll have a look at going to the tailor and going to the barber. Might not even be worth going to the tailor right now because I don't think I have any money. So I might actually put that on the back burner. I should be able to afford a quick haircut though. I'll probably buy a paper. So let's do everything kind of on this main street kind of down here with the general store. Don't really need to go to the post office or the stables or the stagecoach, anything on this side. But kind of this set of icons right here, we'll just kind of have a quick peekaboo. Then I will do the bounty poster mission, and then I will do the Ansel Atherton mission and kind of continue the main plot here. So let's make the saloon. Yeah, Sadie mentioned she spends a lot of time at the saloon in Blackwater. Saloon is always one of the it's a great place to check out first when going to new towns, because it gives you a good idea of the kind of people and the kind of society that you're dealing with inside of that town. Blackwater is completely new to me. It's crazy that we're in the epilogue of Red Dead 2 and we're still coming across new areas of the map that have yet to kind of be explored. So isn't that so funny? I was just talking earlier in the game we used to do these bounty poster missions where we would track down bounties, and maybe Sadie will kind of bring us back to that. And next thing you know, there's a bounty poster posted probably at the sheriff's office in Blackwater there. It's not really dangerous for John to march into Blackwater. At this point, it's been multiple years. The gang has kind of been broken up. I don't think he's in a lot of danger traveling by himself to Blackwater for sure. As you can see, obviously, there's no more wanted dead or alive around the Blackwater area. That kind of red fog hung around the Blackwater area for the entire duration of the main game. It's not until the epilogue that Blackwater kind of becomes available to explore. I guess we could have gone to the Blackwater area as Arthur Morgan. I never really tried to head down there as Arthur Morgan to see what might happen, but I guess it's all, I can only speculate at this point.
Help! Please! Is anyone there? Please! Somebody! Hey, you! You! Please! You gotta help me! Mr. Abel's thugs been wanting us to sign our land over. Only this time I escaped, but they have my husband. They're gonna kill him.
Fine.
Abel's thugs, huh? Where are they?
It's the stone farmhouse back there where I came from.
I'll head there now.
I'll see about finding more help.
Well, this is the second or third time we've heard reference to Mr. Abel and his thugs. They're the group that Mr. Getty speculated coordinated the attack at Pronghorn Ranch. I think that's the first time where I heard direct reference to the name Mr. Abel. So this is kind of an enemy that I'm currently kind of fighting personally right now as well. So I don't mind kind of helping her out. And plus, we haven't really done a lot of this side stuff. Besides doing kind of the extra content videos, the log missions, which check out in a separate playlist if you haven't yet. But we've done kind of that side stuff. But just kind of going off and doing some of these roadside stranger missions we haven't really done in a little bit. Just like the bounty posters.
Sign this over. I'm gonna take a long time on you.
So I think they're trying to take their land. So I'm taking the typical Litchfield for mid to long range and the semi-auto shotgun. Anytime I know it's a homestead or a building on a property that I might have to enter, always got to take that close range stuff with you. Right? Plus a shotgun is just hella intimidating.
Then you're offering. It's only scrubland. To think your boys died for some scrub.
Son of a bitch! I'll break your goddamn neck!
Oh, that's not very nice. After I've done you the courtesy of offering a deal. What about the other one?
It was injured. Can't have got too far.
All right, you ain't dealing, so bye-bye it is.
They're killers! Get them! I'll sit you!
Oh no! Oh shoot. I think the spray from my shotgun killed him unless one of the thugs was able to get to him first. Damn. So I wasn't able to save the husband there, but that's okay. We're gonna do some quick looting here. She's gonna be pretty upset that her husband is dead, but I did my best. He would have died anyways if it wasn't for me trying at least to save him. He would have died anyways, even if I had not tried to save him. That's what I mean to say. Is that what I said? I don't know. Sometimes I get really confused on my words sometimes.
Hey, partner.
Well, that did not go exactly to plan, but not the worst possible outcome. This is all pretty much new territory to me as well, heading down here to the Blackwater area. Anywhere where I am now, really south of Riggs Station. I think that's about the furthest west, other than Strawberry, that I've ever gotten for the southwest anyways. So yeah, we're pretty much on the road now heading into Blackwater. I just noticed that we have a new stranger mission available as well. So I thought we were going to be able to come in here and easily do that Sadie Adler mission and then go to Blackwater and get this done, but I wasn't really anticipating spending time kind of exploring Blackwater. I wasn't anticipating this bounty mission or this stranger mission, so let's get some of this stuff out of the way here and then kind of see where we're at. Looks like I actually got to turn around and head on a different route to get to this particular stranger mission, so
What the hell? Can't be serious.
I'll follow the GPS's advice on this one. Which, I mean, in real life, you're usually better off not doing, but thank God this is in real life.
Is that all?
Riggs Station is, of course, a train station, so I believe a main story mission brought us here once before as part of the main game. Like I said, kind of familiar with parts of this area, but the further I ride down towards Blackwater here, the more I don't really know about the layout of the land. So we're not actually heading to Blackwater first. We're going to try and conquer this new stranger mission.
Partner?
Oh. Hello. Quite a day, isn't it?
Sure.
What a country. I'm working on a project. Photography.
Yeah, I guess that bit.
Of course. Wildlife. That's my thing. Or that's what I want to be my thing. If I have to take another picture of a grumpy housefrau or pompous middle-class burger, I will feed myself to the lions. Stand here.
Huh? Here?
Just... there. Albert Mason.
John Marston.
Pleasure. I'm trying to find and capture images of our great predators before our greatest predators kill them all and stick them on some clubhouse wall.
Good luck with that.
Yes, not the easiest. But, well, I love a challenge. The trick is to leave a big load of meat and relax and pray they don't mistake me for lunch. Oh, good heavens! My bag! That thing is robbing me! Oh, good heavens!
Don't worry. That thing is a coyote. Sneaky one, too. Wildlife photographer.
Damn. This guy seems just about as quirky as any other,
Coyote, don't think about coming back.
The main character of this stranger mission, pretty much just as quirky as most others. A photographer, though, interesting. I wonder if we were to just ride through the land, through some of the major routes and stuff, how many stranger missions, unique stranger missions would be available now that the main character is John Marston. I wonder if there's a lot that opens up in the epilogue here. If you know, definitely drop a comment down below and let me know if I should maybe be riding around in pursuit of finding some other stranger missions. That's a side thing I really don't mind doing. Damn, coyote. I was able to wound it, and I got a second shot away, but it looks like I just missed on the second shot. That would have been a fatal shot against the coyote. It's been a while since I've hunted, okay? My skills need some sharpening.
Thank you, sir. Bag full of meat will tend to bring out the worst in the local population.
You are a gentleman. The bag also had a lot of my supplies. You've saved me days. Can't thank you enough. Thank you.
Don't worry about it.
You take care, sir.
I ain't the one trying to get myself eaten.
I realize I am a fool. Forgive me. And thank you very much once again.
I don't know, that felt short and sweet, but also kind of unfinished in a way. Albert Mason, a wildlife photographer, has his bag stolen by a coyote while setting up his camera. Maybe it's kind of a representation of the times to come, you know. Maybe obviously, oh, that is not my horse. I'm just gonna casually steal the guy's horse. Maybe that stranger mission is supposed to be an indication that, you know, photography is more of a thing now, kind of to go along with the theme of the changing times. Doesn't appear that we'll be coming after him again, though. Lots of times they'll stay at, you'll be able to see in the log mission. It's still a mission in the log mission, so yeah, we may actually encounter him again. Even Marko Dragic is still a thing in the log screen. Good lord. Oh, well, that was interesting. I was like, oh man, watch it be another collecting mission where I have to go take pictures of 65 different animal species. Everything from snails, mice, like having to photograph everything in the Wind Waker. Ooh. Brutal. Okay, well, I guess we just ride on into Blackwater as we were.
Now.
Yeah, the newspaper will be a cool thing to buy there in Blackwater. We actually, another thing we haven't done in a while is purchase a newspaper, and they're oftentimes fun to go through just to see what's going on in the world at any given moment. News is an important part of staying an informed citizen. But, on the contrary, relying too much on newspaper or media in general is not a good thing. That's the lesson for today's stream. Get your notepads and pens out, folks. It's education time. This has to be one of the most involved epilogues of any epilogue known to man. Like, it's like if they released the epilogue as like DLC, as like John Marston's story, it would have been. What the hell are these natives? Oh no, my horse. You need a horse reviver to revive your horse. These can be purchased from any general store or stable. Oh no, Rachel. Oh, shoot. Okay, first things first. Those were, I incorrectly identified them as potentially being natives. It was hard to see from a distance there. And I noticed that the one guy had a bow and arrow that he was firing at me. So I just kind of assumed there. It was kind of wrong for me to do that. So Rachel, that's who it is. I remember now. Has been my horse for this epilogue so far. I don't have any horse reviver on me, so we're gonna have to unfortunately kill the horse and put it out of its misery. I just want to find out, those people were actually the Skinner Bros, so we should be able to have a look in our compendium and find out a little bit about the Skinner Bros. It looks like the final gang, so we've discovered now finally all 6 gangs. The Skinner Brothers. We have discovered the Lemoyne Raiders, 87% discovered. So that's kind of the gang, I guess, that we've come across and taken care of the most. They're kind of, we kind of wiped the Lemoyne Raiders out quite a bit. Same with the O'Driscoll boys, not really prevalent much anymore. But the Skinner Bros, this is kind of new. They are a group of outcasts that have become one of the most notorious gangs around. These men prefer to roam the region of tall trees, causing havoc rather than finding a fixed hideout. They revel in brutally attacking and killing people, with each murder being more vicious than the last. The diverse group does not favor one type of weapon. They can be found using anything from Apache bows and Mexican knives to good American shotguns. Interesting. It looks like they may actually have some natives as part of the group. Again, don't quote me on that. Reigns over the tall trees region. Wow. That's my first ambush survived by them compared to some of the other gangs. Let's check that out. I haven't really explored my compendium very much in this playthrough either. I guess that probably would have been a great way for me to keep up with everything that we were kind of coming across. The Lemoyne Raiders, well, they only ambushed us 3 times. We actually found two out of 3 of their camps as well. We did actually find their main hideout as well. The O'Driscoll boys, we found both of their hideouts. We only found 1 out of 4 of their gang camps, though. They're not around too much anymore. The Murphy Broods, we found their main hideout. Survived a bunch of ambushes from them. The Laramie gang, yeah, we actually found them too. Dang. The Del Lobo gang, on the other hand, that's one gang that we've actually never come across. This gang can be found roaming around New Austin. Interesting. That's an area that doesn't exist on my map currently anywhere. That's the first time that we've seen reference to that. So that's definitely interesting. Consists of mostly Mexican men who are outlaws, exiles, or opportunists. So the Del Lobos gang. The dispute between Mexico and America has brought this gang to the town of Thieves Landing. Here they steal, fight, and often kill people. It sounds more like a modern day cartel. Anyway, so that's who the Skinner Bros were, though. And they have just killed Rachel. So now I have to kill Rachel and potentially steal somebody's horse to get on with my life here. We're so close to Blackwater. Please don't make me walk the rest of the way, for the love of God.
Sorry, girl.
God damn. I guess if we are close enough, I can walk. I guess I just got to keep walking down this road until somebody passes by and I can rob them. That's about the only choice I have. Dang, we haven't lost a horse in a while. This is the video of revisiting old times. Doing stuff that we haven't done in a long time. Having stuff happen that hasn't happened in a long time. Revisiting old tragedies. That's what the title of this video should be. I mean, eventually someone's got to come down this road. Am I right? This is the road directly leading into Blackwater, so you'd think. It is also becoming nighttime, though, and that's a bit of a concern. Oh, here comes somebody.
I'll happily pull this trigger.
Man, some people you come across and it's like carjacking in Grand Theft Auto. It's a piece of cake. Get out of the car. It's mine now. Lots of times these stealing a horse can be very straightforward, but lots of times you get people like him who think they're as good of a gunslinger as John Marston. I took him out with a shotgun at long range. How do you like them apples? And I took your horse. You can temporarily store one unbonded horse by hitching it in camp. Oh, I need the saddle from Rachel to bring to this new horse if I wish to claim this new horse as my own, I guess. Come on, after all the horses that I've killed, you'd think that I would know a thing or two about how to handle a dead horse. What to do.
Let me just adjust this.
So I don't know if Morgan is the name or... Because that would be super funny, because I actually owned a horse with Arthur named Morgan. This could be like Morgan the Second. So this is... Right now it just says horse. It looks like... Yeah, it looks like it's kind of like an unnamed, kind of generic horse for now. It's a pretty basic horse. I don't think it's anything too special, but it'll get me from point A to point B. So that guy that just passed by on his horse, he just witnessed the dead body, and there's now a witness for murder. Although he won't be able to link me with the murder because I was kind of away from the dead body. It wasn't like I was hanging around the dead body. I was smart enough that way, at least. But he's going to ride all the way back to Blackwater now and probably report it at the sheriff's station. And then, of course, they'll come riding out. But I should be long integrated into life in Blackwater. They'll never catch me. Wow. I had plans for this video. We were on a roll, just banging out these missions, bang, 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 bang. And then the good old randomness of Red Dead 2 gets in the way, and next thing you know, you're shooting your horse in the head with a shotgun. I thought we were supposed to be doing missions here. A balmy 14 degrees in Blackwater. Whoa. This is weird. So that's the witness to the murder. It is actually pretty big. Not quite as built up as, say, Saint-Denis, but like relative size, it is pretty big. This is kind of our first ride through of Blackwater. I am set to head to the saloon first. As I said, there's a couple icons. I won't be able to do the full scope of everything in town because I'm not really rolling in dough here, but I shouldn't be linked to the crime, but I still need to stay vigilant here and try and stay away from
Well, crime's on the up again.
any potential agents. Everything in town's pretty much locked to me until this wanted goes away. Hopefully it doesn't spark a bounty. It shouldn't. Not if the crime's not linked to me. Okay, so I was gonna say there are some towns in Red Dead 2 that share a history with the original Red Dead, and I believe that Blackwater is one of those places. And to be honest with you, I don't know if I'm supposed to recognize it, but I kind of recognize this place. Tell me you don't recognize this place.
How you do?
I certainly do, because I think Blackwater was one of the places in Red Dead, in the original Red Dead, where we spent a lot of time. And this looks like it to me. Almost down to a T, obviously just with large graphical improvements. That's insane. That is awesome. Whoa, this is like Throwback Thursdays come 4 days early. Alright, this is the first place in town I wanted to check out. Like I said, it kind of gives you a good feel of what the town has to offer. I think this saloon offers everything. This popular saloon has a selection of beer and whiskey to offer the thirsty Blackwater resident, as well as meals, cooked, ready to order, great. Guest rooms and baths are available here. This is a good place. While I'm here, I should probably take a bath. That's another thing I don't think I've done in a long time. Maybe get some rest too. I haven't really double checked Marston's cores in a while, so that'll be good. I'm gonna need to be careful with my money, but I wouldn't mind checking out some of the amenities around town, such as the show at the Imperial Theater. Maybe get a haircut. I'll avoid the tailor until I have some more money. So, like I said, we'll focus on these icons first.
Hello?
If you watch real close, you can see him reading the cards under his breath.
So we got live poker, typical of most larger town saloons.
Well, nice to see you.
You ever play this before, friend?
So, what do you need?
I'll have some food. I'll have some. Ooh, I need to be cautious with my money. Let's check my cores first, actually, like I said I would. We're at about 65%. I need some Deadeye and whatnot, and let's be honest, I mentioned this, I think it was in my last video, I don't want John to be underweight. I struggled with Arthur's weight for so much of this game. I don't want to do that with John in the short time that I get to have with him, so let's get something to eat, it won't hurt. Peach cobbler it is.
Yeah.
Is that a spider web hanging from your cards?
I'll give this much.
One cobbler.
Marston seems really focused right now on getting this bank loan and kind of getting his life back together. I don't want to ruin that by getting too drunk at the bar. There's another thing we haven't done in a long time in this game, is get drunk at the bar. But I really don't want to make a fool of myself my first time here in Blackwater. It doesn't seem like the optimal thing to do. So,
Hello?
we're just gonna have a bath, I think, and rent a room and call it a night.
Got a bath available?
That's excellent. Head on over, someone will assist you.
Can't seem to find a man in Blackwater prepared to break it.
Ah, there we go. Our first bath with John Marston. You know, all the times we had baths with Arthur Morgan, not a time went by where I was like, you know what? This is great, but I really wish we could be having a bath with John Marston. If I wasn't being so stingy with my cash right now, honey, I'd let it happen, but we're gonna give a pass on this one.
Well, you just let me know if you need me.
Oh, honey, I will. Make sure you get them pits there, eh? Right in between your, well, you know, anyways. in between the legs. That's where a lot of sweat and bacteria will build up. Ew. Told you it's education time, folks. We're doing a pop quiz at the end of this one. That's what's so great about my streams, is that, you know, you get the raw entertainment value, but then you get an education, and at the end you get a degree mailed out to you, an honorary Sweetfish Plays degree.
People can be a little high-strung.
You can expect it in the mail after watching exactly 4,000 hours of my videos. It will arrive promptly.
It's like this.
Alright, so that's good. Apparently there's some almonds here at the bar. I mean, they're free. Why the hell not? I mean, typically most bars have like pretzels and stuff like that out that you can munch on, especially back then and even throughout most of the 1900s. Not so much anymore. Everything you have to pay for, but nobody saw me take those almonds. Right? That guy over there on the couch looks like he definitely has something to say about me eating those almonds, but I'm gonna let it go this time. Alright, so now we're just gonna rent a room.
Can I get a room?
It's all yours. Enjoy.
Yep.
It's always a good thing to do when you first get to a town is rent a room. That way at least you have a place to stay, a place to kind of retreat to and change your clothes, save, do all that fun stuff.
Same old shit, different day.
That's how it goes.
This is it. Including a mirror for me to stare at myself for an endless number of hours. Yeah, 100%. I remember this town. I knew that this town was also a part of the first Red Dead. I just wasn't sure kind of how accurately portrayed it would be in comparison to the first one. I mean, there is a bit of a time gap for sure, but man, I'm impressed. Really, really impressed. So yeah, I don't think nighttime is the best time to explore the town here. So we're gonna sleep until about noon. That gets John a little bit of rest. And then we will have a look at some more of these town icons when we wake up in the morning. I don't know if I'm really going to be able to accomplish any more missions per se as a part of this video. I think I'm mostly going to spend the rest of the time here just kind of exploring and getting to know the town a little bit. Anytime I play a video game, I always like to map everything out mentally first. Every new area I unlock or get to, any level that I play, I always try and explore absolutely every corner and crevice that I can. In a big town like this, it's a little bit harder. I can't, you know, explore every nook and cranny, but to have that mental picture in your head, it helps in a lot of different situations. If I ever have to leave town abruptly and get the hell out of Dodge, you know, you just kind of know what routes you have to take. I just always like to have a mental picture of the map wherever I'm playing in, kind of in the back of my head. So I think exploring when you get to a new place in any video game is extremely important. Whoa.
How do you do?
You guys didn't hear me snoring or farting in there or anything like that, did you?
Ladies screaming.
Look out!
Alright,
Not
never
nothing
mind.
for me.
$17.82 left to play with. Well, we already kind of ruled the tailor out. We can pretty much rule the general store out as well, but I mean, the only thing I'd really need there is ammo. Horse reviver. That could definitely be worth it, especially after learning my lesson once again there with Rachel. So we could definitely stop by there and maybe just pick up one of those. Okay, and then we've been to a lot of the theater shows in the game. I tried to make a point to go visit some of the theaters and stuff when I was down in Saint Denis, some of the more grand ones. We saw some of the more simplistic shows, such as the Magic Lantern show or whatever the hell it's called in Valentine, where it's a lot simpler entertainment than something you'd see in Saint Denis. So we'll see what the show in Blackwater here is like. I definitely want to save some money for that. And then these two down here as well.
Hey, do you have to follow me around like this?
Well, if you didn't walk so fucking slow, bro, you're like 50, not 85. Jesus.
Always something going on around here.
What?
Howdy.
And now everyone's looking at me awkwardly, like I'm the one that just caused the ruckus.
Hello, sir.
At least that guy respects me.
Thanks, mister.
So far since coming to Blackwater, I've learned that everybody in this town moves very slow. Okay, so we're going to be passing by the newspaper vendor right here, so this is a good opportunity to touch base with the recent times.
Want a paper?
I would.
I was hoping to take.
So basically, he's got every issue going back to... So it looks like I could have visited Blackwater as Arthur Morgan. I always just steered clear of it because of the one at Dead or Alive, and I already had my hands full with bounty hunters most of the time.
You need help picking,
but
or...
looks like ledgers number 65 through 71 are covering news. Those are all old issues from 1899, from when Arthur was alive, that I could have purchased here in Blackwater had I ever come to Blackwater as Arthur Morgan. This one is from 1907, so this is the most recent Blackwater ledger. This is the one that we're going to want to read.
You'll like this one.
More relevant to the times now. It might be worth it to purchase some of the other papers if we want to go back and kind of see what was going on in Blackwater, you know, back when Arthur was alive. But I basically just want the newest news for now. The newest news.
Careful now.
The newest news, please. This seems like a good part of the sidewalk to stand and read a newspaper on.
Hey,
hopefully.
you gonna move?
Never mind then. One thing about these newspapers is you always have to find a super quiet place to read them. Oh, I could always just stand here by my horse. I'm kind of out of the way here. Here's what we got in the Blackwater ledger. So, Panic of 1907, stock market crash. I guess so. I guess that's the year now. I guess that would mean that how many years have passed? So we're actually a lot closer to the first Red Dead Redemption plot than I thought. This is, I guess, 1907. I think in between Arthur dying and them giving us John Morgan, it was listed as a few years passing. I certainly wasn't expecting a few years to be 8 years, but okay then. Or 7 years, I guess. Close to that, something like that. So, Panic of 1907, stock market crashes. This will give us a good idea of what the economy, what's going on in this time. Give us a good update. Stock market crashes, exchange and free fall, economy on edge. Traders and economists are reeling after the stock market continued to collapse this week. Those in banking circles say we are witnessing the largest evaporation in wealth ever recorded. Cries of anguish were heard on the streets of Lower Manhattan as the stock exchange continued to erupt into a frenzy and bankers rushed to find some way to subdue the panic. Some speculate the panic on Wall Street was made to order by big capitalists in order to depress values and allow them to reap a rich harvest when the rise returns. However, some have claimed it foolishness that a banker would will a panic, likening it to a farmer wishing for a drought or a sailor praying for a typhoon. The banker, despite being opulent in wealth, thrives from stability. Amen. And it's kind of relevant to our own times, isn't it? Bankruptcy claims are being filed by the dozens of large institutions, however, as New York banks are protecting the situation by holding money out of circulation. Congress has already promised to investigate these national banks and review their conduct, though no charges are expected. Pump jacks sit silent, no oil found at Wapiti investors allege fraud. Now, this is going to be an interesting read. This is about the Wapiti Indian Reservation, which was very relevant towards the end of Arthur Morgan's life. Very relevant in what Arthur Morgan did towards the end of his life. Obviously, the army and whatever was trying to take over the Wapiti Reservation land for oil purposes. Let's read on. Investors allege fraud. The oil reserves discovered on land near the Wapiti Indian Reservation in 1899 have turned up dry, and all drilling operations have ceased and packed up. There were high hopes for the location following a detailed exploration by the Leland Oil Development Company on behalf of Cornwall Idiot. Kerosene and tar and a number of petroleum outfits had sought to develop it into a well-paying field. So now all those natives are displaced, and all for nothing. Basically, that's what this article is letting us in on. Workers flocked to the area in anticipation of jobs that would pay as much as 22 cents an hour. Companies sank well after well, coming up empty with only a minuscule amount of oil being found, not enough to keep operations running. The tribe at the reservation went on the run after a series of attacks on the army, culminating in a bloody battle at the Cornwall Kerosene and Tar Factory around the time news of the oil discovery became known. So that's obviously, we were a part of that bloody battle. Many members of the tribe were gunned down in Wyoming, but a few members are believed to have escaped into Canada. Yeah, welcome home. It is unknown what will happen to the Indian Reservation land moving forward, as there are no Indians in the area to relocate there currently. Not that Canada really became a home for most natives, but we won't go into the politics of that too much. Save that for another video. We'll probably have an hour-long video just talking about that. Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. So much of that was unnecessary, but I'm glad in the end that I helped defend their land to the best of my abilities. Stupid oil companies look stupid now. Small farms disappearing, swallowed by large cattle interests. Laramie Corps offering buyouts. A sense of unease and uncertainty has arisen among landowners as a wave of real estate speculation is sweeping through cow country, and large cattle outfits are offering large sums for small ranches, headed by Abel Atherton. That's interesting. That's the contact that we were told to meet by Mr. Geddes here at the bank in Blackwater. The Cattle Association seems intent on remaking the West, having recently acquired Hanging Dog Ranch and a considerable number of acres around Strawberry. Property agents from the Laramie Corps are visiting small farm owners offering large sums under their new economic model. While opponents say a way of life is perishing, others argue that America is a country of progress and those clinging to the homesteader ideal are firmly stuck in the past. Scale, they say, will always win out. Man, they couldn't be more on the point with these articles. President Waxman hails progress, discusses canal immigrants flooding Ellis Island. 1.1 million expected this year. Also discusses building Panama Canal. Speaking to a packed crowd in New York, President Thaddeus Waxman announced that this year is set to see the largest number of immigrants ever recorded passing through Ellis Island. Promise of this great land is known far and wide, he said, and over 1 million immigrants are expected to arrive in New York in 1907, greatly eclipsing previous years. So again, we're kind of seeing this expansion, I guess the whole economic outlook of the United States is changing, the way business is done in the United States is changing. Still very premature by this point, but we're kind of seeing it happen in a multitude of ways, and we've been both eyewitness to it and we've kind of seen it reported through, you know, kind of mediums such as this. So very interesting once again. Romance novel proves bestseller. Overnight success. Author Leslie DuPont's 4th tome proving very successful. Is it raining? Gonna get my newspaper all wet. It's interesting, an article about another bounty hunter who's becoming well known in the area, known by James Langton. Relentless, cunning, and fearless. Sizable frame and 10-gallon hat. Well, if we continue doing bounty poster missions through the sheriff's office and helping Sadie, Lord knows we'll probably come across this guy at some point. Hookworm plagues warmer climates. For many years, the lethargy of residents in the south was thought to be due to the germ of laziness. It is now known that the anemia that plagues warmer climes of the United States is the direct result of a parasite that lives in the gut and known as hookworm. Ugh. A major outbreak occurred in 1902 in Cornish mines and in the coal mines of France, Germany, and Belgium. The affliction is quite common. The worm is half an inch long and its mouth armed with teeth. Oh, lovely. Imagine having that floating around in your tummy. They attach by the thousands to the inside of the intestines, sucking blood, moving from place to place, and leaving bleeding wounds subject to infection. Lovely. Oh, God. Radio miracle, music transmitted through the air, ships receive broadcasts, written dispatches from the coast of Massachusetts report a novel experiment transpired recently. Using an experimental alternator transmitter at Brant Rock, technicians broadcast radio signals carrying the music from a phonograph record of Handel. Interesting, so we're starting to see breakthroughs in the technological field already. I mean, 8 years is more time than I thought passed, but it is a pretty significant amount of time. I mean, that would be like jumping forward from now, 2020, and going forward to, say, 2028. And the technological advances that might come across that time period. For one, we'll be playing on the PlayStation 5 at that point. That's aside. A town of ghosts, Raskeller Fork lies empty. Interesting. This is a place in the New Austin region. The streets are desolate. The lard is filled with vermin, windows broken, families gone. Raskeller Fork, a remote settlement in the desert of Gaptooth Ridge, New Austin, was once a bustling place where goods were traded. Travelers would stop for refreshment and repose, and dances and suppers brought merriment and cheer. It's now deserted. Okay, so here's a little theory of mine now that we've seen New Austin kind of referenced multiple times here. New Austin, I would imagine, is probably closer to the border. It's probably closer to Mexico. I imagine it's supposed to take place in like fictional Texas or whatever. So it's probably a bit further south of Blackwater, and there is kind of a clouded area down here where we can still kind of access on the map. You can see how much further kind of down here we can take the map, but there's nothing over here. We haven't been down that way yet. We also see a few roads kind of headed down in that general direction. I hypothesize that will actually lead down to New Austin. I believe that that's going to be kind of a whole new area for us to explore. And perhaps Sadie's bounty hunter missions will be the lead that kind of takes us down there. But obviously we're kind of getting more and more familiarized with this New Austin place. And obviously, I think it's going to be coming up in our near future. Perhaps the focus of Epilogue Part 2. Once again, only time will tell. I think that's the gist of most of the articles here. New railroad completed. I think there's just 2 there that we didn't go through.
Hey, boy.
Can save them for a rainy day. I don't know if it's raining or if it's sunny right now. I got no clouds above my head, but the rain coming down. Apparently, the entire concept of precipitation was different in 1908 as well. So again, we're just exploring here. We wanted to go try and pick a couple things up at the general store.
Greetings, amigo.
Really, we're not really exploring Blackwater because we technically have been here before. We are, I guess, re-familiarizing ourselves. John Marston may have never been here before. But he's about to spend an entire other video game spending a lot of time here. And he don't even know it.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Help wanted. Interesting.
Howdy. Step right in.
Damn, sweet place you got here.
Okay, look through this, but you better be serious.
Do I look like an unserious fellow? Okay, so horse reviver, extremely important. Revives horse from severe injury and moderately restores its health. I'm probably only going to be able to afford one here, and probably one potent horse medicine, or maybe I'll just get the regular horse also fortifies slightly. Yeah, let's just do the regular horse medicine. I'll get one of those, and I'll get one horse reviver. Now we're really short on cash. Hopefully, I thought maybe I could get some potent medicines and stuff like that, but I don't think I'm really going to be able to afford much more here. I don't want to. That's the thing, is I'm scared to use all of my money. I don't know if I have any health cures. I have. Looks like I have just one potent health cure and one ginseng elixir. So not really a lot. It might be worth it to get another health cure, but like I said, I don't want to have to start begging for money on the streets of Blackwater.
Hello, miss.
Wow.
Mind yourself.
Nothing bothers me more than when you say hi to somebody and they don't respond.
Hi.
Working in the restaurant industry, you'd be surprised how often that happens. How often somebody will walk through your door and you'll be like, hey, how's it going? And they just, like, completely ignore you like you don't even exist. So we at least have one health cure. We at least have some stuff for our horse in case something happens to our new horse now. Yeah, I guess after having bought that, we can kiss the show goodbye for now as well. We'll have to try and do that another time. The barber and the photography studio, basically everything has to be put on the back burner now because it's all going to cost us money. So we're going to have to explore some more of these buildings in Blackwater at a different time. For now, what we can do is take our new horse to the stable and kind of get it registered under us. We won't really be able to upgrade it or anything like that, but we should be able to change the name and some of the more frivolous details.
Hello, sir.
And after another mission or two, we should be able to get some money back and check some of these places out around town again. Resume our exploration. Actually, you know what will get us some money? Is the bounty poster. Completing this bounty poster will definitely, it'll be probably at least a $25 reward, depending on if we get the guy dead or alive. Sometimes it's more alive, so we'll have to try and keep an eye out for that, but that'll get us enough money to at least finish our exploration of the town and checking some of these places out. So we'll stable and then bounty poster to make some money, check some more of these places out.
Down here.
How do I get in the stable? Well, the direction of this video went an entirely different way,
We've got room in the
but
stable if you need it.
so this is like the very first horse I ever had in the game, that really small one that was also Morgan, so I called it Morgan. It wasn't the best horse for me to steal. It'll at least get me by for now, like I said. It's got a $1 sell price on it, so yeah. feel like I should get the horse care package. Yeah, you know what? Why not? If I'm going to be doing this bounty mission for some money, I'm going to have some money soon anyways. Then that'll at least get my horse back to, you know, kind of baseline again. And now I just got to rename it. Now, I've been pretty... I've been pretty creative with horse names to this point. This one's going to be named Thief. Is it I-E-F? Thief. Yes, that's it.
Good choice.
I like that for a horse name, Thief, because I stole it. I stole this horse. Therefore, its name is Thief. Man, we're just getting more and more creative by the horse. Okay, so... we want to... Okay, so... much better. Now, at least I've got a horse. More of a pony, but... Alright, so, like I said, things ran a little bit longer than what I expected. That's actually going to be it for us here. We were only able to get the one main story mission done, but, you know, we started our exploration with Blackwater. We kind of discussed a lot of things. We read the newspaper, which kind of clued us in on a lot of what's going on in and around this time. So I am happy with the progress that we were able to make for this one. 75 will be the next vid up. Should be up in a couple days for sure following the release of this one. I haven't really had to make plans for myself going forward in a while either, because for the most part it's just been doing story mission after story mission, but now it's almost like the game is kind of opening back up again for us a little bit. The closer we got to the end of Arthur Morgan's saga, the more the game kind of became more linear, or at least that's how it seemed anyways, and now it's like it seemed that way to start the epilogue again, still kind of linear gameplay, and now it's kind of like we're getting a little bit more free roam in here once again, just like when we were in the thick of the main game. So I will have to think of a game plan here. So this is what I got for you. We're going to do this bounty poster mission to make a couple bucks on the side so that we can continue to explore some of the amenities in and around town. I want to get John Marston, cleaned up a little bit at the barber. I want to see what the tailor's got in stock. These are all places we've never visited before because we've never, ever been to Blackwater. So but like I said, they all cost money, so this bounty poster is a good way for me to accomplish that. And then we'll do the Ansel Atherton mission. I did mean to address that mission in this video, but we just got caught up in so much other stuff in getting to know Blackwater a little bit that I kind of missed the opportunity to jump into that one. But I kind of want to be ready for it too. I really don't know where the story's going to go. I don't know if I'm going to have the opportunity to do some of this side stuff that I want to do, so I want to do it while I have the chance. Keep the conversation alive, keep the community alive, keep the channel alive. Make sure to like and subscribe, and like always, we'll see you on the other side. Let's see if we got into the completion at all here first, actually. 0.7% of the game, not bad. So not as big of a jump as what we saw. Oh, that's right, we did another stranger mission here tonight too. We became acquainted with Albert Mason, who I'm sure we will run into again. So stay safe out there, and enjoy your April.